When you bring shine, the sunshine in me. And when you bring out the sunshine.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talking Sports with Tammy. And I have a special guest here with me today is Brandon Ramsey. Hello, Brandon.
Hey, nice to be here.
Yeah, welcome back. He
Welcome
was
back.
on earlier in the week. Monday. He's running for, what is it you're running for?
The PVA office.
PVA office. So we had him on the show. Michael had done the show with him. And we decided to bring him back to do the Talking Sports with Tammy segment.
It's nice to be here.
Yeah, nice to have you.
It's nice to talk about something other than politics for
I
once.
know. I bet you're wore out from it.
Yeah.
And you're ready to.
Let's get Tuesday.
Yeah.
Well, they
Let's
start
get
voting
Tuesday.
today, so.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. So
yeah.
Good luck, and
I
hopefully
appreciate it.
Things go well for you. Let's talk about your baseball career. Tell me about. Did you play high school ball?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
where'd you
I played
play
at
it?
Boyd County High School.
Did you play at Boyd County?
Yeah, I started. I always played. I graduated in 1990.
Okay.
We won region championship that year.
Oh wow.
You know, it was a big deal. 88 team actually made it to the state finals.
Yeah.
So that was when Jody Hamilton, he started in 87. So, I mean, when he come and became the coach at Boyd County, I was a freshman. So I played with, for him all them years, and then turned around afterwards. After I played at Marshall I played 3 years, I got hurt and wasn't able to play anymore, and then came back and helped him coach after that.
Well, so you, in 1988, you went to the state finals. You was on the baseball team itself?
Yeah, I was in the program.
You was a player.
At the time. Yeah, I didn't play in that game, so.
But you went.
To be clear.
But you
went.
We
was there. We was there, yeah.
And that's a biggie. That's why a lot of players can't say that they went to the state tournament in any sport.
Well, I mean, I didn't get to go there as a player, other than that. But, I did several times as a coach.
Okay.
With Jody Hamilton, and then with Ben Maynard, and, when I was the head coach also.
Now, when did you take over? When did Jody Hamilton retire, and when did you take over?
He left Boyd County after 2002.
2002.
Yeah, we had won 6 straight region tournaments. And, was on a roll, and, he decided he wanted to change, and, he moved down to Lexington to West Jessamine High School. They hired him there, and, he started coaching there after that.
Now, what year was you in the program when you all won the state finals?
It was 2001.
2001, and that was with Jody.
And that was with Jody as the head coach.
And he retired at 2002?
Well, he left Boyd County. I mean, he's not retired to this day.
He started back up coaching again, didn't he?
I think 1,100 wins at this point, and he's just going to keep rolling.
Wow, that's crazy that he's been in it all these years.
It was a lot of fun. I mean, I played for him, and then, coached with him, and then coached against him. So
Oh, how'd that go?
At first, I think I did pretty well, but I think as his teams got better, they started getting back for him. So
wow,
yeah, it's a lot of fun, and we still talk a lot. I mean, I'm still actually an active member, even though I'm not a high school coach anymore, in the Kentucky High School Baseball Coaches Association. So he's actually on a committee that I chair.
Okay.
So I talk to him through the year, check up on him, see how his team's doing.
Yeah.
He's in Owensboro now. Don't really get a lot of scores up here. You actually got to get online just to see how he's doing. I do keep up with the rankings, though, and I think the last time I looked, he was 10th. So he's doing pretty well.
That's crazy still.
Still, after all these years.
Now, how did it feel to win a state tournament? I want to know. I mean, when you realize that you won that game at the last inning, the last pitch, what happens?
We've been close. You go back to 88, but then I think it was 98, we was in the final game. 2000, we lost in the semifinals, actually to the team that we beat in the finals in 2001, same pitcher.
Wow.
And we was always close.
Yeah.
99, we had a really good team that year too. And, it seemed like every year we was in the mix, but we never got over that hump until 2001.
And when you did it, what happened?
Oh,
I mean,
well, I mean,
everybody go crazy.
oh yeah, there's dog pile in the middle of the field, and I think it's the first one, and the only one that I was ever in or will be in at this point. But
Yeah.
it's hard to believe it's been 25 years.
Wow. And y'all had a 25-year anniversary thing, or?
Yeah, they had one at the high school a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes it's hard for people to come in.
Right.
The state of Kentucky is actually recognizing the team this year during the first semifinal game on June 12th
Uh-huh.
at Kentucky Proud Park.
Mm-hmm. Now, where's that at?
That's UK's field.
Okay.
It's Lexington.
Okay. Wow. So that's exciting there.
Yeah, we've been sitting down trying to get our roster together. Usually with the KHSA, they have your rosters online, but I guess where it's been so long, it's not there anymore. So we've gotten the roster together, and we got to start contacting people. I think they're going to give all the players 2 tickets, and then if you need any more than that, you got to pay for them. But
Oh, wow.
you know, we're trying to make a day of it, and maybe do some kind of dinner with everybody afterwards.
That would be
and,
nice.
You know, just get everybody
What a-
together. I mean, how
and
often
have the
does
memory,
This, yeah,
you know,
how
the
often
memory.
does this come along, and how many people can say that?
Yeah.
You know, we won, and now we're being recognized again.
Yeah, that is amazing. Now, we was talking the other day a little bit, and there's a couple of players that have passed away that was on
Yes.
that team. Can you say who they were?
Dustin Jude
Yeah.
had an accident, and then Travis Hall.
Yeah. I
It was
know
a
Travis.
car accident.
Yeah.
Uh,
And do you know how you all want to honor them too, as far as that goes?
Well, I'm sure we will.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that'll be part up to how the state of Kentucky wants to handle that.
Right.
But I think I know the Halls are still local, and I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the Judes are too. So
Yeah, I had Brian
We'll
on the
have-
show.
yeah, we'll have to get with them, and really, to be honest with you, see what they want to do.
Right.
You know,
That's
what their wishes are, and you know, they's both really good kids, and
Yes, they
played a
were.
big part in that game
Yes.
in 2001.
Yes, they were good kids. I knew Travis personally, but didn't know the Jude guy. But I heard he was a good kid too. So
Yeah, they was all. I mean, the way we ran our program, I mean, we was hard on kids. I mean, anybody that played back then will tell you that. We had good kids. We had
Yeah.
a lot of good kids. We had good parents.
that's
And
the
everybody
key.
got along. Honestly, yeah, it is a key. I mean, if you're going to pull off an accomplishment like we did, it really takes a group of people pulling together.
And that was a big accomplishment. State tournament winners. Wow.
Yeah,
Like that's crazy. I mean,
I
now-
definitely it was the last one for Boyd County as far as a team
oh
sport.
yeah. I mean, they've never won.
Yeah, I think they've had some individual state champions
Have they?
since then, but not any team sports.
Yeah, I was going
And
to say.
it's, I mean, 25 years, but when you figure it up, I mean, there's 275 high schools. I
Yeah.
mean, and everybody's competing for that one title.
That one title, and you
Makes it
all win
tough.
it. And you just think
Yeah.
about that
I mean,
a minute.
especially you get the demographics of the schools now, and it seems like ours get a little bit smaller, and you go to Lexington, they get a little bit bigger.
Yes.
And
Yes.
of course, you have all the private schools that bring kids in.
Mm-hmm.
It gets tough, but it can still be done. I mean, people do it. And they've changed the setup of the state tournament, which I think helps smaller schools, teams that probably aren't as deep as some of the big schools.
Oh, really? And do they end up playing each other in the finals, or do they have separate tournaments for them?
No, it's all one big tournament.
big
in the
tournament.
state of Kentucky.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
know, you could be, you know, a single A, 300 kids,
Right.
and you can be playing against
A little school like Fairview or
you
something.
know, a Lexington school that's 5,000 kids.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know, they don't differentiate. Now,
Okay.
the state has come in and they do like an all-A tournament during the season, and they've
Okay.
actually expanded that to a double-A tournament
Okay.
for some of the smaller schools, because I know Boyd County, the baseball team won it last year,
Mm-hmm.
the 2A in baseball, and Coach Fraley, the girls basketball, won it, I think his next to last year.
Did he really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah,
Did
so
not
Boyd
know
County's
that.
actually won a couple of those.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's good. That keeps our name out there, you know.
Yeah.
We gotta keep it going there.
There's a lot of good A lot of good sports in
Yeah.
Boyd County, for sure.
16th region.
Yeah, I think sometimes we get
district.
lost up here in the
64th
corner.
district.
You know,
Yeah.
just like I'm sure teams that are on the other side of the state feel the same way.
Right. Oh, yeah.
So much of the states revolves around Lexington, Louisville, and
Exactly.
the Cincinnati area,
Yeah.
and really down that 75 corridor. And sometimes we get lost over here, but
Right.
been a lot of good athletes come through, as
That's right.
everybody knows.
Uh,
A lot of good athletes around here right now.
That's right. Yes. I'm not really familiar with it right now. Are you still in the baseball in any way, shape, or form?
Yeah, I actually am the president of the Huntington Hounds up in Huntington. It's a
Yeah.
summer travel ball.
Oh, wow. I did not know
I
that.
had been coaching. I'm not coaching right now.
Uh-huh.
So I help run that. I actually been on the phone all day today trying to, because we start in a couple of weeks,
Yeah.
getting everybody lined out. But yeah, I'm still involved. I do pitching lessons over the course of the winter.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm still involved with the High School Baseball Coaches Association in Kentucky.
Mm-hmm.
I do the All-State team and Mr. Baseball votes.
Wow.
Yeah, busy. That's coming up too. So I'm trying to figure out. Last week I sent out a message to what we call the region reps. Every region has one person who coordinates through our association
Mm-hmm.
to start to get me that information so I
Awesome.
can get the ballot together to send it out to my committee
Mm-hmm.
who will vote for those spots.
Wow. Now, what position did you play in baseball?
I was a pitcher.
You was a pitcher only?
Well, in high school I played some infield.
Yeah,
And
because
then
I know
pitched
when you're
and-
not pitching, you can play.
Yeah, I played some infield. Of course, once you get to college, it's just, I pitched, and that was it.
Did you pitch the curveball?
Well, yeah, sometimes when you needed to.
Me and Brian was talking about that. I called it a screwball or something. I'm like, what? But I know my son played whenever he was in at Boyd County, but he was in the 9 and 10-year-olds. This was young. This is when they're first starting out, and they went to the state tournament, and they came in third there. So I mean, in this area, we've got a lot of good people that play, sports.
It's always been like that. I mean,
Yes.
and if you live in this area, and I have my whole life, I
Yes.
mean, people take sports serious. I
Oh,
mean,
you bet we do.
they do.
Kentucky Wildcat too.
Oh, yeah. Definitely the basketball.
What do you think about Coach Pope? Let's talk about that a second.
I think he's done a good job.
Yeah.
I mean, I think probably a tough situation.
Yes.
College basketball's changed so much, not necessarily just basketball, college sports in general,
Yes.
with the NIL deals and the transfer rules. And I know they're trying to regulate it or somehow, instead of this free-for-all that it
yes.
seems to be right now.
It's free for all.
And as a fan of the basketball, and I follow baseball most of the year, but in the wintertime I'm going to watch Kentucky basketball. It takes you about a month to learn who all the players are.
Oh, I know.
It's not like it used to be where, we got this guy and this guy, this
For
guy
4
coming
years.
back, and now this
Yeah.
guy and this guy you thought was coming back is at another school, and
Yeah.
we got 5
Because
new
somebody
guys.
offered them more money or something.
Yeah.
That's awful. In college, we shouldn't have to go through that.
And I think they should get paid. I mean, they're generating a lot of money for their school,
Yeah,
but
but not that much.
there's got to be some
Have a-
rules, it seemed like. It's just not.
I have over the board,
Well, it's like they're a
amount.
free agent every year.
Yeah.
I finished this season. Okay, I'm going to declare, for the transfer portal, and I'm a free agent. Let's see who the highest bidder for next year is.
Isn't that crazy?
Well, I mean, when you're supposedly there for education, I mean, they can't be good for that. Now, I know these guys are making a lot of money, and a lot of them, I'm
They're
sure the
just going.
education is secondary, or I'm sure they're thinking, well, once I get done playing, I can finish up whatever I need to finish up to get my degree because I'm going to have,
Mm-hmm.
all this money. But I think it makes it tough. I know they've
Yeah.
had commissions in Washington to try to figure this thing out.
Right. It's crazy. And
I know it would seem like they would want to collectively bargain and come up with
Mhm.
some rules like the NFL or MLB or whatever to be governed by, but
Mm-hmm.
they've just not done that yet.
Right. Do you have a favorite pro football team?
I mean, I'll follow the Bengals just like I follow the Reds.
Do you really?
I
I'm
mean, I
sorry.
say follow.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I know back when I coached high school, you spend basically year round getting everything ready. And
Yeah.
of course, a lot of times when I do baseball lessons, they're on Saturdays and Sundays. 'Cause
Yeah,
that's
you don't
when
get
people
to
are free.
watch much.
So you don't get to watch as much. You haven't do as I haven't done as many lessons the last couple of years.
Yeah.
I've cut back a little bit, so I've been able to get home and watch some games. I've probably watched more football in the last 2 years than I have
Yeah.
in probably the previous 20, just because I'm
Right.
home more on those days, and
Right.
I've got a little bit more interested in it.
Right. Yeah. Pittsburgh's my team.
Oh,
Oh, did you see that? Oh,
yep, Steelers fan.
I'm a big time. I'm
Are you?
diehard. I would die for my
I
Steelers.
know Pete's son-in-law, Jesse, who just got the basketball job at Boyd County.
Yes.
He's a big Steelers fan.
I was asking Mr. Anderson, Coach Anderson. I had him on a
I
couple
ran
of
into
weeks
him
ago.
this morning at the gas
Did
station.
you tell him he was going to be on here?
I don't think so,
Yeah,
actually. I
really?
mean, he knew that I was on here this week because he saw my video.
Right.
But he was getting gas, and I was walking out to actually go work.
Yeah.
Just spoke to him briefly.
Yeah, he said he couldn't tell who the coach. He thought he knew, but it wasn't. He didn't know for sure. But then he said he couldn't tell me even who he thought was in the running for it. I'm like, okay, but here it is.
Well, I'm sure. I know when I, left
Yeah.
the job. I hate to say retired because I was a part-time paraprofessional, but I stayed out of it. I mean, they asked me some questions. I told them what I thought, but for the most part, and I was the same way. I know a couple people. Of course, Coach Conley, who's there now, was one of them.
Mm-hmm.
I know a couple others, but I'm not. I think they interviewed 5 people, and I think I knew 3 of them. So
Really?
I just didn't want to be involved. I wanted the school to make that decision
Right.
and give everybody a fair shot.
You said Coach Conley, is he the baseball coach now at Boyd County?
Yes.
Does he ever come to you about advice or anything?
Sometimes.
Does he?
Sometimes I think he wants to do his own thing,
Yeah.
which I was the same way. When I took over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good to have that person there to be able to, hey, what would you do in this situation or something like that?
Well, I think he's got his plan as to how he wants to run it.
Yeah.
Which I definitely respect.
Right.
And like I said, when I took over in 2009 as the head coach, I mean, I was the same way. This is what I want to do. This is what I envision. And this is what I think this program needs to be right now.
Yeah. Well, I've done some digging in on you.
Oh, my.
Yeah, I got on the internet. You won 2 16th region championships,
Yes.
right? 7 64th district championships.
Sounds right.
7. You got one in 2009, 12, 15, 17, and 18.
Yeah, and what's funny is 11's not one of them, but we won the region that year.
But you won the region?
Yeah, Ashland beat us in the
okay.
in the district.
But
and
you still go to the region.
Yeah, you still went to the region, and we turned around and won it.
Yes, I love that. I'm a Boyd County girl
That's
here.
an interesting caveat to all of that.
Yeah. Is there any time in all the time you coached, is there just one certain moment that stands out for you?
Well, I mean, you'd have to say state championship.
Yeah, the champion. Now, what about when you was a head coach? Like,
Probably the first region.
yeah, the
win.
first one you won?
Yeah, I took over in 9,
Mhm.
and then we won in 11.
Yeah.
And we was close. I think in 2010 we was in the finals and got beat.
Oh, really?
And, we felt good about going into that game and just got outplayed.
Yeah.
And then turned around and had a really good group in 11.
Yeah.
And they was able to win.
Did you have any players ever go to pro?
Yeah, one,
Who?
Jacob Barnwell. He was a 15 graduate.
Okay.
He was
Who did he get drafted by?
Colorado Rockies. He went to Ohio State
Mm-hmm.
out of high school and was drafted after his junior year.
Did you know Brandon Webb that got drafted to the Diamondbacks?
A little bit. He was actually, he beat us in the district tournament
Did he?
in, I think, 97.
Uh-huh.
And, of course, he went to UK after that.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, he was really good.
Yeah.
I know he took pitching lessons off Jody Hamilton when he was
Wow.
little.
Is that right?
Because he had a little baseball school. And he done really,
it's got to make Jody feel good, Hey.
done really well for himself.
Yes. Wow. Now, he got hurt, didn't he, in Arizona whenever he was playing for the Diamondbacks?
Yeah, I think that's in.
And he was a
ultimately what
pitcher also.
Yeah, it ended his career, but he won a Cy Young before all of that happened. So
He won what?
a Cy Young award.
Well, no, what
That's
is that?
the pitching,
Really?
best pitcher in the league award.
Are you serious? I
Yeah,
did not know that.
He had a nice career.
Daggone. I know he had bought some property out there on Route 5, the Sundowner Golf Course.
Yeah.
I don't know if he still owns that or
I
not.
don't think he does. I'm not sure he ever
Yeah.
really did anything with it. I think he had
Right.
plans.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I think that was around the time COVID hit, so I'm not sure that didn't change some things, or maybe his life shifted in some way.
Yeah,
And he
when he got
decided,
hurt.
because I think last time I heard he was living in Arizona, that
Arizona
he was
just
back
stayed there.
out there. Yeah, but
Mm.
I'm not sure. I mean,
Yeah.
all I know, he's living right up the
Right.
street.
Wow, I know he was one of the biggest ones to come out of the area to go,
Well, he
you know.
pitched at UK too,
Yeah.
which puts you up on a scale a little bit.
Right, and then when you get drafted and you're
Got drafted.
starting pitching and stuff, that's crazy.
Yeah, there's
That's
been, I mean, kids from around here that have gotten drafted,
yeah.
have done well. Been a lot of kids in the state of Kentucky, of course, where I do my all-state and stuff.
Hmm.
You always look back, during the draft and see where you all had this kid. Hopefully, if they got drafted, we had them pretty high in the state, which that's
Exactly.
always seemed to have worked out for us.
Yeah, wow. Did Brandon Webb get any kind of Player of the Year in the state of Kentucky?
That was long before I was in charge of anything.
That makes you wonder, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm not even sure that they did a lot of that back in those days.
Right. The era of the.
Well, I mean,
I go back way back.
I mean, the internet really wasn't even a big thing at that point.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Who knows what they did or how it got out?
Exactly.
It was all newspapers and word of mouth.
What was your biggest achievement as a coach?
On the field or off the field? I mean,
On the field?
I think
We'll do on the field.
Well, I mean, the region championships,
Mm-hmm.
I think, would always have to stand out.
Okay, what about off the field?
Just some of the kids that you go around and you see how successful they are.
Yes.
They're have good families, they're good people.
Yeah.
They're successful in life.
Mm-hmm.
We have the reunion and you get to sit and talk to them, and you hope that you had at least a part or are a part of why they're where they are at this point.
That's what Anderson said, the same thing.
I've taken kids on college visits before and
Mm-hmm.
drove them around, and I know when Jacob was playing, I traveled up to New York to watch him play in what's called the East Coast Pro,
Mm-hmm.
which is a big MLB event they put on for guys that they think are going to get drafted.
Oh, wow.
When he was in high school. That was a lot of fun. I tell people all the time, it's one of the funnest events I ever went to, because there were so many good players, but
right.
I just got to sit and watch it.
You didn't have to worry about anything.
I didn't have to worry about a lineup.
That had to have been a good feeling for
Jacob
you.
out there playing, and and all these MLB scouts running around. Some of them I knew, most of course you don't, because they're from all over.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a lot of fun. But you've been so many, especially 25 years. You can go back all the way back to when I started in '94, and you see these guys. Of course, all of a sudden you start coaching their kids there at the end.
I know. It gets kind of,
I remember the first time that I coached a kid of somebody that I went to high school with, and I thought, man, this is weird, because I don't really feel this old. But I mean, it happens.
Yeah, it does, and
Stick
life
around
goes
long
on,
enough.
doesn't
Yes,
it?
it does. It just barrel rolls
And
through
it
everything.
flies by so quickly. Now, you've got 3 sons?
Yes.
And you've got a daughter too?
No,
just 3
the
sons?
3 boys. I married my wife, I think 3.5 years ago. I probably ought to know that, because I'm sure she'll listen to this.
You better.
Yeah, but yeah.
And now, do they play baseball?
The oldest plays baseball. The middle one, he loves basketball.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then the little one here,
Mr. Governor.
The governor. He's baseball. He loves soccer.
Uh-huh.
He watches soccer all the time. So
awesome.
I know I was a baseball guy, but
you don't instill that on them, though. You don't say you must play.
They need to do what makes them happy.
Exactly.
If it's play one sport and they just want to play baseball, that's awesome. If they want to play all 3, that's awesome.
If they're not happy at it, then why push them to do it?
Well, it's going to make them miserable.
Right.
And I think probably because of what I did for so long, I have a little different perspective, especially, when I coach summer travel now, and, that's a lot different from high school. You just have a different vision or view of how all this works.
Right.
And I think ultimately, like you talk about, when you coach, a lot of times you just hope they become good people.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to make money at it.
Right.
I mean, Very few people ever make money at it.
Mm-hmm.
So be happy.
Yeah.
You know, I guess that's advice I give to young kids. You know, do what you want to do. I mean, if you want to play all three, play all three. You want to play four, play four.
Yeah.
If you just want to play one, play one.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just keep it in perspective and understand that, you know, college is probably a realistic end to where you want to be, because I mean, very few people get drafted and get to play for money.
Right. So enjoy it while you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know. With your son, is he playing for Boyd County?
Yeah, he's a junior.
Junior. Okay.
Yeah.
And he plays for Coach Conley. And
Yes.
do you ever watch his games and sitting there thinking,
Well,
okay?
well, I try to stay out of it,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, he wants to do his thing, and I'm sure if he has a question or wants something, he can come ask me anytime he wants. But
what position does he play?
he's pitching, plays a little outfield. He actually got hurt earlier this season, so he hasn't played a whole lot.
Yeah. Well, I hope he gets better.
And he's just now starting to do stuff again.
Okay. Let me see what kind of questions I've got down here. Who's the most famous person you've ever met? I bet it's going to be doing with sports too.
Probably. I know when we used to go to coaching clinics, we always went when Coach Hamilton was here to the ABCA, and of course they always brought in major league players, and you know, I got to meet Tommy Lasorda.
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was.
He used to coach for the Dodgers?
He was a coach for the Dodgers a long time. He spoke at one, and of course he sat there and shook hands with everybody afterwards.
Wow.
One of the nicest men.
Yeah.
You know, his motto was "Tell him again."
Tell him again.
You know, tell him again.
Tell him again.
They don't get it right, tell him again. And it was funny because he just kept saying that all through his speech. And of course, they bring him up there, and of course, it's packed in the auditorium because everybody wants to listen to him. And he was supposed to be talking on coaching, and I think he just did a 45-minute stand-up and had everybody just rolling in the aisles.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. That
Yeah.
would have been good to watch, though.
Yeah, it was very. It was 30 years ago, probably now at this point, but
yeah, I
it was a lot of
remember those
fun.
days.
They always had big league players come in.
Yeah.
And talk to the coaches. And
did you have another one that you can remember?
I know Will Clark, of course, he was one of the first ones, and when I was growing up, I loved to watch him play, and then all of a sudden I'm sitting there and, you know, getting his autograph after I
bet that
probably
feeling.
20 years old at that time. That's probably why it stands out to me.
Yeah, that
because
feeling.
You know, I had a poster of him in my room growing up, and
Did you
then
really?
here I am seeing this guy
Oh my gosh.
at a clinic.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
You know, that you get to meet your idol like that. Not very many people can say that.
Yeah, and that was always good. You know, you go to these clinics and you see these guys putting back, and maybe that's something that influences you as you get a little bit older.
Right. Okay. What advice do you give the young coaches that's just now starting out? How would you give them some kind of advice there?
Enjoy what you do. Work hard.
Right.
You know, put in the time, and, you know, ask your kids to do the same and care as much as you. But I mean, ultimately, I know when I quit coaching, I just didn't feel like I enjoyed it anymore.
Right.
And, you know, enjoy it. You know, it goes so fast. You know, I'm sitting here, I did 25 years at Boyd, and I mean, that was in 2018, and now it's 6 or 8 years later. I mean, I still love baseball, but at that point, I just didn't think coaching was something that I wanted to do. But I didn't feel that fire, and, you know, if you're a young coach, that's what you've got to have
that fire.
Especially in high school, because you're not making a lot of money. You know, you have all these kids that want to play, and sometimes, you know, you can't play them all.
Right.
So people get upset at you. And, of course, if you go into coaching, you want to win games, of course. And, you know, you've got to have fun with it. Enjoy it. Don't think that you're going to get rich doing it.
Right.
Because it's not going to happen. And take pleasure or satisfaction of the kids that you produce much more so than maybe some of the end accomplishments. The state of Kentucky, there's only one state champion, in baseball or basketball. It's a very tough thing to accomplish, trust me, because we put a lot of time and work and just got one and was close a lot of other times. And if your goal, I think, when you go in is I'm going to win a state championship, and you set that lofty goal, then you may end up disappointed or frustrated, and all of a sudden, you become a person that's not you.
Right.
Enjoy the kids, enjoy the ride, take the accomplishments. Always push yourself, push your kids, but make sure in the end that you're happy with, the job that you're doing.
Well, that's some good advice there. A lot of people, I don't know. It's hard to be a coach and try to be there for your players too and your parents too. And I know you've probably had some instances where you didn't get along with the parents because you wasn't playing your kids enough or vice versa. I know how that goes. So how did you handle that situation whenever you did?
Sometimes you end up in meetings and conversations, and sometimes it's not as nice as you want it to be.
Right.
And when you're at Boyd County, a lot of times, especially when we was really good, or not when they're really good now, but you have some of those really deep teams.
Yes.
Good players don't get to play as much as they should. And I always told parents, and, I only get to play 10 guys. And, if I got 16 guys that probably deserve to play, you're going to have to make a choice somewhere along the line. You can rotate them through from game to game, but, everybody wants to play every inning of every game. And I would have been like that.
Yeah.
But as a coach, you've got to make those decisions. It would be nice if you only had the 10 kids that was going to play and nobody else was there.
You didn't have to worry about it.
You didn't have to worry about it, but it's not the way it works. And sometimes kids got to wait their turn, especially at some of these better programs.
And that's the hard thing to try to get them to understand.
Yeah, because a lot of times when they grow up and they play travel ball or they play Little League, there's only 11, 12 kids on the team. So, everybody plays. And you show up to the field, you're going to get a couple of at-bats or, some innings out there. And you get to high school, especially when the newspaper's there and you're trying to win, and, of course, you're playing for districts and regions and states.
Wow.
You can only play so many guys, and and starting next week when district play comes around for high school, every coach is going to run what they feel is their 9 or 10 best guys, and and try to win.
Right, and that's the key when you go into your districts and your regionals to get to the state tournament, that you have to play your best, and the players have got to play their best too.
Yeah, baseball is probably a little different from any other sport because of pitching. You can only pitch guys so much. So
too.
You're able to rotate a little bit more, but it's still maybe a guy or two.
Yeah.
You don't always get to play your best team because sometimes your best pitcher isn't eligible to pitch, or he threw the night before. So it's a little different, but you're still limited. And,
right.
I know postseason in baseball, you're allowed to carry 21 guys, and you're probably going to play 11 or 12.
Right.
So there's a lot of guys that are going to be a part of the team, but probably aren't going to do a whole lot for however many weeks that you're in that postseason.
But you know what? They can be encouraging to the other players
and
stuff
that's
too.
Their job.
That's
and
their
there's a lot
role.
of other little jobs, like backup catchers, warming up pitchers, and
yes,
guys getting to the outfielders and infielders
right.
and getting them loose before innings.
Right.
And
so they've got their role too.
Yeah, and even practices before. Sometimes you need live at bats, so you're going to take some of maybe your younger pitchers out and
right.
let them throw to these guys so they can get some good at bats before they get into that real game.
Yeah, that's exciting. You got the districts coming up now. Who is favored? Do you know who's favored to win?
I think that it would have to be Ashland at this point. I mean, they just beat Boyd County for the second time, and they have the best record in the region.
They do.
Yeah, I mean, Raceland has a nice team. I mean, Boyd beat them the other night, but I'm not sure where they was on their pitching. But, I mean, they've had a nice season. I mean, Boyd County, Greenup County, Russell, there's a lot of good teams going into it. Now, I mean, ultimately, I'm probably rooting for Boyd County. I am rooting for Boyd County. My son plays there. I coach there.
Yeah.
And they've got a really nice team.
Yeah. So we'll
see how it works out. Hopefully, they can prevail at the end, but it's not going to be easy.
You know, that's the key to all that in baseball, pitching. Now, how do you how do you like organize it to where you're going to have your best pitcher in that final of that regional
Well,
tournament?
sometimes you don't. I mean,
That's got to be crazy.
it depends on your draw and who you play. I mean, you might play who you feel is the best team in the semifinals, and you want to throw, your best guy against them. Sometimes, and I got caught doing this in 17, is, one of my better pitchers, or a guy that I probably felt was my one, I tried to hold on to. And we didn't end up winning the semifinal game.
Oh, no. Like, why didn't I play him?
Well, it's just.
It's hard to make that decision,
And the question
isn't it?
you ask yourself, and, you catch grief and all that because it didn't work out. And, you made that decision, you roll with it. But could you have won the finals without that guy pitching anyway? So
yeah, it wasn't meant to be. That's the way you
it
gotta
wasn't.
look at it.
I mean, we had a lead going into the last inning and just didn't hold on to it.
That's
always
terrible.
work out. But I mean, pitching is what makes baseball so different from probably any other sport, in high school, because there are rules to how much these guys can throw.
Right.
Now, if you ask me as an old pitching guy, they're probably not strict enough that they throw these guys quite a bit. But
Do they really?
more than I'd like to see, but they're within the rules. And
Do they go by hours pitched or
no, it's pitches thrown.
pitches thrown?
Yeah. That's the rule. It used to be when we won it in 01, it was innings pitched, and they've changed it to pitches thrown.
So as many as you.
Yeah, every team has to keep up with how many pitches their guys throw.
Yeah.
And stay within the rules.
Right.
It's in a way it's self-governed, but I mean, if a team knows when it gets to postseason, they'll let you know.
Right.
How many pitches each guy throws.
That's good.
So that you can play it off. Because I've been many times when I was finishing up and those rules were in, that a lot of coaches would go ask, how many pitches do you have him at, to the people who were keeping count.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. So you got certain people that keep count for y'all.
They'll have somebody in like the district, region, state tournaments.
Oh, they bring in somebody.
Yeah,
to
the
do
host will usually have somebody that.
Okay.
An official scorekeeper.
See, I never knew any of that.
That'll do that. Now during the season, it's just basically self-monitor, and of course, if somebody catches you, they I think call the assigning secretary, and they deal with it, send it up to state, and of course, I don't know if I've really heard about any guy getting in trouble.
Really?
For anything, but around here, I mean, all the coaches are. I mean, I think they know what they're doing, and don't really go past what they're supposed to.
Right. That's good. Have you ever got ejected by an umpire? Come on now, tell us the story.
I've been ejected twice. One was actually in a summer game.
Okay.
And of course, I was right.
Of course.
They're going to tell me that. I was only ejected once in high school, and I mean, if you ask me what happened, I probably blacked out in the middle of it. I got a little angry.
Did you?
And actually, one of my parents got it on video.
Oh, no.
Actually, it's still on my computer at the house.
That's funny.
Yeah, he didn't get the first of it, but he got me. And actually, my pitching coach, Aaron Acuff, got ejected before me. Yeah.
Who was you playing? Do you remember?
We was actually up at Covington Scott in a tournament, and I didn't know the umpire, and
got heated.
I think we was playing Covington Scott. It was the last game of the tournament. Of course, I'm sure I didn't get very much sleep the night.
Tired.
Because we stayed there that night. I was probably tired, and the umpire said something that we didn't like, and we let him know it. And like I said, Aaron went out first and tried to talk to him, and he throws Aaron out, and then of course I didn't really care much for that.
And then you got mad.
Well, I went out and voiced my opposition to what he had just done, and he didn't care much for that either.
So you was out.
Yeah, but I mean, we had to serve a 3-game suspension.
So when they throw you out, do you have to leave the field?
You have to leave the field.
So you can't watch?
The issue I had there is, number one, I was riding the bus back.
Oh, gosh.
I was with the kids, and we're 2.5 hours from home.
So what happened?
The umpire let us, the athletic director for Covington Scott was there, and he took Aaron and myself down way past the field and sat us on a picnic table.
Are you serious?
And we sat there and watched the game from a distance.
That's something.
Yeah, that's all they could really do, because.
Yeah.
And I told him I had one of my assistants, I had one assistant left, and he took over the game. And
Did y'all win?
actually, we did.
Yes.
I think it
yay.
was 18-16 to
Oh,
tell
wow, that's
tell you what
close.
the umpiring was like in that game.
Yeah.
But it ended up fine. I mean, we served our suspension. It was funny because Monday morning, this was a Saturday, and of course they write a report and send it to the state.
Mm-hmm.
And the guy in charge of umpiring for the state of Kentucky, I knew.
Mm-hmm.
And he calls me Monday morning.
Oh, no.
He's like, "Coach, what happened? Because I've never seen your name." And I was like, "Well,
It happens.
stuff happens." You know, I told him, I mean, I lost my temper.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I said things I shouldn't have said.
Yeah. Now, did you
Yeah.
get, did you have to set out any more after
I
that?
sat the 3 games, and
Did
that
you
was
have to
it.
do 3
Yeah,
games
I did
after
3
that?
games. Yeah,
And the other coach had to too?
yeah.
Oh, wow. So the assistant pretty much had
Yeah,
to
it
pick
it
up.
was a 3-game suspension. Whenever we sat out the whole week. I actually missed an Ashland game
Oh, wow.
because I was suspended.
Daggone.
Yeah,
That
my
makes it rough.
JV coaches, my brother, and actually the coach who took over for us when we got thrown it, they coached it and actually won the game. So
Awesome. Well, that's good
while
that
I
they could do that.
was sitting at home,
Is that what you did?
you
Just
wasn't
sat
allowed
home?
at the field.
Was
when
you
you're
able to
suspended.
listen to the game?
Yeah,
Did they have
you got to-
radio and
You got to listen. There was radio, but yeah, you're just sitting there.
yeah? Did they call you and ask you, "Hey, what do we do now?"
Oh, if you know my brother, no, he was like, "We got this.
Yeah.
You don't worry about it."
Hey, that's the way.
They had it. They did a good
Well,
job.
that's what you
and-
got to do, though. You have to have your assistants have to be able to come in, it just in case something like that happens.
Yeah, and we, had a lot of good coaches at the time.
Yeah, and that's the key to having a good team too.
Yeah, Aaron and myself was doing the varsity, and then Gavin, my brother, and Jeff, and some other guys were doing the JV.
Mhm.
And of course, we couldn't coach, so they just come right up, and
Yeah.
we found. I think had some other guys that helped coach JV while they was up with
Mhm.
the varsity for those 3 games.
Well. Okay. What's the most valuable lesson that a player has ever taught you?
I would probably say patience, because if you knew me when I was young, of course, some people might say that now. I've not always been the most patient person.
Mm-hmm.
I think there comes, as you get older, you start to realize. I know my mom one time said, "You can't expect," because I played Division I college baseball, and she says you can't always expect every kid to be,
Right.
like you.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was something really good she said to me, because I
Yes.
think at the time, every kid ought to be able to do this, and every kid,
Mhm.
and I think when you play, and sometimes when things come easy to you, you just expect everybody to be able to do
And
that.
it doesn't.
And it doesn't. And I think as a coach, eventually that's one thing you have to realize is not every kid's going to be this or that. And sometimes they do things better a different way.
Mm-hmm.
I probably, when I first started coaching, I was more under the belief that this is this and this is how we should do this. And I think over the years, you start to see kids for what they do well and maybe
Right.
make adjustments. I know we was at a clinic one time, and college coach comes up to us and says, "Y'all have the hardest job ever, is coaching at high school level."
Really?
And we're like, "Why?" He goes, "Well, I get to go out and pick my guys. I get to choose the players that come and play for me."
Mm-hmm.
He says, "You pretty much get what you got."
Right.
And he's like, "I can pick players who fit my system and will fit my personality and bring them in, and they play for me."
Mm-hmm.
So you're getting whatever's in your school.
Right.
And a lot of times you have to make adjustments in what you believe your system is
Mm-hmm.
in order to probably get the most out of those kids.
Right. That's got to be hard because, as he said, you don't get to pick who you want.
No, you're just,
And some kids is not blessed as much as some of the others, and you've got to focus on them a lot to try to get them to where they are comfortable playing.
yeah, and you're always, I think sometimes it's easier to coach the better players.
Yeah.
But, if you want to have a good program, you almost got to try to lift them all.
All they
You gotta
from
lift
the
'em all.
bottom
You
up.
got to try to find a way to get the best.
I love that. I love
Yeah,
that.
we used to talk about is you coach every kid different, you treat every kid the same. And that was when Jody Hamilton was here. We used to
Yeah.
say that. and that's something I've always carried because every kid's going to take something different to get the best out of them.
Right.
But when it comes to your rules,
Mm-hmm.
you know, be on time for practice and be on time for the bus, is that you have to have that line no matter who the kid is that breaks that rule.
That's a good concept. You know, that's a concept in life too, in general, you know.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing that coaching teaches is just dealing with different kinds of people,
Yeah.
you know, different situations. You know, you have some kids that have better home lives than others,
Right.
and some kids that, you know, their families have more money than others. Some kids struggle.
And some kids play because their parents want them to play.
Probably.
And didn't want to.
Yeah, and I'm not sure. Maybe sometimes at high school you get a lot of that. I know in younger groups you get a lot of that.
Mm-hmm.
You go to a little league field right now and you write down the names of the players, and then in 3 years or 4 years you see how many of them are still playing.
Right.
And usually you get to a varsity level, and
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't think that's probably as much, but it still happens. You know,
Right.
you'll get kids there or that have kind of come through, and all of a sudden, I think with probably a varsity, it's more they decide they don't want to play anymore, other than where they was 2 or 3 years ago when they loved the game, and now all of a sudden life has changed and they have a different perspective.
Yeah, life can change you, can't it?
Life changes you a lot.
Wow, this has been really great talking to you. You
I
know,
appreciate it.
Coach Ramsey. I'm going to call you Coach Ramsey now. Let me see if there's anything else I've got here. I have some things that. Do you have a funniest or bizarre thing that's happened on the outfield, like in a game? You know.
Oh, I'm sure there's balls hitting guys in the face,
Yeah.
and
Like
you know,
getting
errors
ready
that
to
are
catch
made.
it.
I'm not sure that when you're coaching you find that
Yeah,
as funny.
exactly.
As probably the people who are watching it.
Yeah.
It's always bizarre play, especially when you coach high school.
Right.
You'll see some interesting. Of course, you get into the little leagues, and you'll be like, I can't believe I just saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I know sometimes when you are around a varsity team a lot of times, and then you go coach a younger team, and you'll see something happen, and you're like, did that really just happen?
I did not
And
just
everybody's
see
kind
that.
of looking around like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, at that point, you jump into coaching mode, and you're trying to figure out what's going on and coach. I know I coached varsity for 10 years, and then all of a sudden I started helping out with some summer. And my first summer I coached was like 14-year-old kids.
Mm-hmm. Totally different, huh?
Yeah, it was totally different. And trying to start teaching at a different point, you know, more like, I guess you just assume at that point that it's a blank slate and you're just starting from step one, to where when you're at varsity, you're hopefully at step 8 or 9 of 10, and you know, you just kind of touching up things and maybe going over some more advanced like defense and offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you have to, like when they at the younger stage, you have to teach more. I feel like.
Oh, that's all it should be.
Yes,
just teaching.
you have to.
I mean, baseball's a hard game. And there's a lot to it, and you just got to keep it in perspective. And let's worry less about maybe winning a game and more about let's getting better. And of course, I coached JV for years and years, and I was always under the belief that if I taught the game and got the kids better, then winning would come.
Mm-hmm. Did you ever have a losing season?
In JV, I probably had a lot. I think in all the years in varsity, I think I had one.
One?
I think there was one, and it was, I want to say like 18 and 17 or something like that. It wasn't like.
That's
I think it was my first year. I think we was 18 and 17.
18 and 17?
If I remember right. Somebody might prove me wrong and pull it up. But
no, that wouldn't be a losing season, though. 17 and 18 would be. Like 17 wins,
it was
18
17
losses?
and 18.
Okay, 17 wins and 18 losses?
Yeah, I think that's where we ended up.
Okay, well, that's not bad still.
I don't
You
think
still
there was
won
ever a
17
year that
games.
it was really underwater. But I think sometimes when you coach JV, and especially if you have a younger JV team, that you know, that happens. But
yeah,
I mean, I'm sure somewhere along the line.
yeah. Do you have anything else you want to talk about?
Oh, I just enjoy talking baseball. I
This-
can talk
I know.
baseball all day.
That's why I am too,
I've-
with any sports, but mostly basketball and football.
Well, if you need baseball, I can come talk baseball.
I know,
to
I know, and
anybody,
I've learned some things.
Yeah, there's
I used to
probably
sit on them
a lot of
sidelines now.
stories along the way that I'm probably not allowed to tell.
Yeah.
I'm sure any coach
Uh-oh.
that comes in will tell you those things too. Just
Really?
interactions with players and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Things that you just can't talk
well,
about.
some things stay with the team.
Right, and that's the way it should be,
Yeah.
And do you like run into your players and they tell you, do they thank you for all you've done?
A
And
lot of times, I mean, they know that I'm probably not looking for a thanks.
yeah, but
It's-
still,
they know I enjoy seeing them. We'll sit and talk.
yeah,
See them around the ball fields a lot. Of course, a lot of them, they got kids starting to play, and you run into them, and you just sit there and talk. And
Mhm.
sometimes they, come take a picture with me, coach. And I'm sure, let's do this. We're all getting old, that's for
Right.
sure.
Right. So grasp it and grab onto it while you can, right?
Yeah, enjoy it.
Enjoy life.
Enjoy it. I think I'm at the point in my life that, you've had some success in coaching, and let's just sit back and enjoy everything that you did.
Well, thank you for coming on the show. That's been really inspiring. I've enjoyed this a whole lot. As I said, I didn't know much about baseball, but I know a lot more now just because of that.
If you ever have any questions, just,
I've been to a Reds game a time or two,
well, I mean, I've been, like I told you before, before I did my last interview, I helped Pete Fraley
Mm-hmm.
with the scorebook the whole time he was the girls
Basketball
coach.
girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've been around a lot of basketball, and of course, back when I was coaching, I tried to make all the events. I used to go to soccer games and football games,
Mhm.
and
Yeah, to support the other teams.
well, a lot of times too is you had kids that played for you that were playing.
Mm-hmm. And you want to support them.
Yeah, you want to at least if they
Show
look at the
up.
stands
Oh,
and
there's
they see
Coach.
that you're interested in what they're
Yeah,
doing.
and that also shows them too. I mean, they'll play harder. Usually if your coach is sitting over there from something else you've been
Yeah.
playing, you got to impress him or her.
Well, the
you
good
know?
thing, we've always had good coaches at Boyd County, and
Yes, always.
we always sit around, and I think everybody had the same expectations for what the players are supposed to be and how they're
right.
supposed to act. So it just was a continuation of what you was trying to do.
Right. Awesome. Well, it's been nice, and good luck in the election.
Thank you.
You've got that coming up Tuesday. I'm reminding you.
Okay.
Like you-
well, it's hard to forget it at this point.
Yeah.
It'd be nice once it's over, and
Yeah, you can concentrate on other stuff too.
Well, I
but
gotta
then
get
if you
back
get
to
elected
my-
now,
my baseball stuff.
yeah, and then you go on to your job too. Whatever. You're retired, right?
I'm retired from coaching. I still work.
Yeah.
I'm self-employed right now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'll be getting up the next morning and going to work. That's
Yep.
for sure.
That's- You heard it from Coach Ramsey here. Talking Sports with Tammy. We'll talk at y'all later.